Yo, what's up, guys? So today we're going to be going over all of the new March of the Machine stuff that was spoiled, or I guess like announced at the MC Philadelphia um convention that they just did this weekend. Literally yesterday was the last day of MC Philly, so we're gonna go over all the stuff for March of the Machines that is getting spoiled. Obviously, this video is huge spoilers. If you want to stay like spoiler free on like the scenarios, because obviously a lot of it is art for cards and not necessarily their cards as well, but there are a bunch of cards as well that we're going to be going over. But before we get into that, I'd like to thank you guys for 100 subs. We just hit 100 subs today. When this video is going live Monday the 20th. Um, Thank you so much. We're one step closer to our goal for the end of the year, which is 1,000. Um, and you know, if you want to help me hit that, you can share these videos with your friends. Like the video, gets the algorithm recommending my video to newer viewers and all of that. If you're not already subscribed, hitting that subscribe button would be greatly appreciated. But without further ado, guys, let's go through these new cards. I'm very excited about it. And I'm sure you guys will be too. All right, guys. So this is the big thread that the official Magic the Gathering Twitter put up. The MTG Machine first look panel at MC Philly is about to begin. Follow this thread for live tweets. This all happened yesterday. So we got the art for March of the Machine. We already kind of knew this. This art's been floating around for a little bit. First look of March of the Machine. I guess these were the people that were on or like led the design team, which is Blake, Rasmussen, Roy Graham, Emily Tang, and Dave Humphreys. We've got the basic land art. So this is we've got planes right here. This is the basic art for the planes. I assume it's going to be full art, like most of the lands have been recently. We've got islands. We have swamps. Really a big fan of the swamps and the island one. That's very nice. Mountains. I'm not really the biggest fan of mountains, but it's still very nice. I think there's not enough red on it for my liking, but and then we have forests. Very nice. Love these full art versions of these, or these like very HD art of the lands. Then we have the art for the the new Praetors that are going to be in the set. Jinjin Taxis was his card art, or his whole card is in here, but the other three are not. So we have the new Elish Norn art, Jinjin Taxius, Shieldred. We have Urbrask and Vorinclex. I'm very interested in the Shieldred, Elish Norn, and Vorinclex. So I already know about the Jinjin Taxis thing. I've already gone over, or I've already like seen it. I saw all this stuff leaking yesterday. But like, if you look at like Elish Norn, she's or not Elish Norn, Shieldred. She ain't got much of a body going on unless she's like full snake mode. Because you can see this down here. She doesn't have like her big normal spider body, so it's very interesting. Urbrask, he seems pretty angry. So does Vorinclex. Vorinclex is usually always angry though. Elish Norn is very it's a very new art. It almost gives me like original Atraxa art kind of vibes, like very similar in lighting and like posing and all that. So I guess we'll see. There are some theories running around about that. Then we have and we have the new Ayara Widow of the Realm into Ayara Furnace Flame or Furnace Queen. This will probably be a flip card of Ayara getting Phyrexianized. Um, Probably Furnace Queen makes it seem like she might be with Urbrask, like Urbrask's queen, which could be very cool. I'm not gonna read any of these blurbs, just to keep the video a little bit shorter. We have a something people have been waiting on for a while, or since Nissa's uh, completion was rumored and then confirmed, was the revelation to Chandra, seeing as how they are very much a LGBT like couple type thing for Magic the Gathering, one of few that Magic has canonized, and it like this card being called the Traumatic Revelation. I assume these are going to be the card names for these cards specifically as Traumatic Revelation. Is very interesting. We have the Jinjin Taxius card, which it will start out as Jinjin Taxis because it has the mana on this side. He is a legendary creature, Phyrexian Praetor, 5/5 for 5. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell with mana value 3 or greater, draw a card. Tap 3 and a blue. Exile Jinjin Taxis, then return him to the battlefield. Transform under its owner's control. Activate only as a sorcery and only if you have 7 more cards in hand. It becomes the Saga, the Great Synthesis, which is very cool. I do like the idea of, personally, I do like the idea of all of the Praetors becoming, um, like, sagas, because I like the idea of it being the end of their story, them becoming a saga, such. But his saga says, turn 1, uh, draw cards equal to the number of cards in your hand. You have no maximum hand size for as long as you control the Great Synthesis. Turn 2, return all non-Phyrexian creatures to their owner's hands, kind of like a um, creature-themed Cyclonic Rift. If you're running this in a 5-color Phyrexian deck, which I imagine you would be, because I doubt there's enough blue Phyrexian specifically, so you'd probably run this guy in a 5-color Phyrexian deck. You may turn 3, you may cast any number of spells from your hand without paying their mana costs. Exile the Great Synthesis, then return to the battlefield. So this is basically you have big hand, dump your hand before he turns back, because then you lose your maximum hand size. I mean, you're probably running cards that give you better hand size as well, or unlimited hand size in this deck to begin with, but that's basically the payoff. Very cool. I'm very excited about this. We have Dave talks about the design revisit. The design revisited the Praetors of Phyrexia to find ways to bring completely new takes on them. So very interesting. We have a mono black sorcery called Breach the Multiverse. 7 mana for a sorcery that says each player mills 10 cards for each player. Choose a creature or planeswalker card in that player's graveyard. Put those cards in the battlefield under your control. Then each creature you control becomes a Phyrexian in addition to its other types. So, like, kind of it's a very value card. It is pretty expensive, but it says each um planeswalker and creature in their graveyard. So using this late game is actually pretty valuable in terms of getting more bang for your buck instead of relying on those 10 cards. You can wait till your opponents have stuff in their graveyard that you want anyways to play it, and then you get the additional mill off of it. It's pretty good. We have some of the new completions that are happening. We have Heliod, the Radiant Dawn, becoming Heliod, the Warped Eclipse. So this is where we're seeing the kind of invasion of the other planes. As you can see, like, all these little rifts that are popping up on Theros. This Heliod is a white-blue commander. You will be. I think this requires blue. Don't quote me on it. I think it does though. I don't remember how the Phyrexian pip works, so I could be wrong. This could also be an indication that it is blue as well, because like usually when it has a card with a white and blue uh pip on the corner of its, sorry, um of its flipped card, it usually means what color um orientation it's going to be. But he is a 4/4 for 4 legendary enchantment creature god. When Heliod the Radiant Dawn enters the battlefield, return target enchantment card that isn't a god from your graveyard to your hand. Tap 3 and a blue or pay 2 life. Transform him into Heliod the Radiant Dawn. Heliod the Radiant Dawn is a 4/6 with you may cast spells as though they had flash, and spells you cast cost 1 less to cast for each card and your opponents have drawn this turn. So pretty decent value card. I don't see people running him as a commander specifically, but he's a pretty good value card for white blue. Um, we have a mono blue instant called Moment of Truth. That looks to be like Elspeth, I believe. I think that's Elspeth. Based on like the hair and like the kind of like battle armor into a like battle skirt bit. Um, Actually, yeah, you can see it right here. On the precipice of eternity, Elspeth made a choice. The fight would not end without her. So yes, it is Elspeth. It is a 2 mana instant. Look at the top 3 cards of your library. Put one of those cards into your hand, one into the graveyard, and one on the bottom of your library. Pretty decent pretty decent. That's actually really decent for like a common card that pretty much everybody's probably gonna have a playset after opening up a few packs. So very interesting. We have some more uh art of cards, Invasion of Lorwyn. I think these are all going to be enchantments or the leaked battle card thing. So the new Atraxa has in parentheses a bunch of different card types that based on her draw mechanic or whatever that you can get. And one of them said battle card, so this might be the aforementioned battle card. So we have the Invasion of Lorwyn, very interesting. The elf plane. We have the Invasion of Tarkir. We have the invasion of Chandalar, and then we have the invasion of Mercadia. All very cool arts. Excited to see what these cards do. And then finally, we have the invasion of Alara, which is a Johnny's plane, I believe, the cat plane. Or the plane with the cats on it. I don't think it's just specifically planes. And then we get into the meat and potatoes of the set. The big stuff. They are doing these new legendary creatures. You can kind of see right here, Drana and Lamvala, where they are creatures opposing forces from each of the planes joining battle together. Kind of it gives me such heavy like end game vibes, like Avengers Endgame, where like the amount of fan service that these cards are providing in terms of seeing creatures that never would have teamed up, were at odds during their sets, come together to fight against the Phyrexian invasion is amazing. So Drana and Limvala is a very strong card. People are very excited about this. A 4 mana 3/4 in white and black, vampire angel with flying and vigilance. Activated abilities of creatures your opponents control cannot be activated. Drana and Linvala has all activated abilities of all creatures your opponents control. You may spend mana as though it were any mana to color to act, or any color to activate those abilities. So you get rid of activated abilities for your opponents, and then you get all activated abilities on the field. Very cool, very powerful piece of value for decks. We have the funniest one, Yargo and Moltani, an 18/6 for 6 mana Frog Spirit Elemental in black and green. Probably the funniest blurb of text to date on a Magic card. I've heard much about you from my daughter, Moltani rumbled. There was a time when I'd balk at your aid, Phantom, but she has shown me the merit in Urborg's strange ways. And then gargled bits of ribbit replied, Yargle. Very cool. I'm very excited about these cards. They're so good. The next one is probably most people's favorite team up. Thalia, you know, the your stuff comes in tap, baby. And the Gitrog monster. Uh Probably one of the most popular Golgari commanders. Uh she is, or they are, a 4/4 for 4 with in Abzan, probably my favorite color combination if I'm being completely honest. Legendary creature, human frog horror with first strike death touch. Fun fact, Thalia, the Gitrog monster are one of 4 creature cards with first strike and death touch naturally on their card. This is probably one of the most powerful card combination or flavor text combinations out there. For those who don't know, first strike creatures normally when they fight, um, when assigning blockers and attackers, such and such, when they hit each other, they deal their damage simultaneously, unless a creature has first strike or double strike. Double strike is just first strike and then you attack twice. You deal your damage twice. First strike means that this creature will hit this creature's toughness first, and if they die, and they don't deal their damage to the other person. Death touch, any damage that would be dealt to a creature is enough to kill it. So Thalia, as a 4/4, could fight a 10/10 Eldrazi, and because it has first strike death touch, it will just instantly kill the Eldrazi and have no damage done to her. Very strong. Then you tie into the fact that you're able to play an additional land on each of your turns. You're in white, green, and black. That's just like that. This is the pudding on top of all this. Creatures and non-basic lands your opponents control enter the battlefield tapped. There's that Thalia ability. And then whenever Thalia and the Get Rog monster attack, sack a creature or land and then draw a card. So that is a mandatory ability. So you will have to sack your land, but you're playing Get Rog monster. Like you're gonna have normal Get Rog monster and a bunch of land recursion in your deck. So I do not see this as a negative at all. Plus creature, you're in Abzan, green, black, and white, baby. You're getting tokens out the wazoo. You can just sack tokens and get that value engine going of drawing cards. It's amazing. This is probably the best card that they have leaked so far. We have the dual lands, trash ones that come in tapped automatically, gaining a life, and then all that. Um just some boys that we haven't seen in a while, but with new art, which is nice. A lot of Phyrexian art going on here. As well as some like cool landscapes, like that statue of Elish Norn right there. I think that's supposed to be a statue. It's very nice. Then we have Chandra, Hope's Beacon. People pointed out that she is crying. I would be crying too if every single planeswalker that I've come to know and love, that I protected the planes with in the Gatewatch, have been completed and are gone. Besides Liliana, we don't know what happened to Liliana. I think in the story she got like cut, um, or got some glistening oil on or whatever, the stuff that turns people Phyrexian. But no, it's not confirmed that that turns planeswalkers, because if that was the case, planeswalkers would have been completed when they were dealing with Phyrexia the first time. So, but I would be crying too if everybody I knew was basically gone. I had no familia, like none of my family is around anymore. She's pretty okay. She's 6 mana, gets 5 loyalty counters. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it. You may choose new targets for the copy. This ability triggers only once each turn. I'm sick and tired of seeing him do this, but if anything, just give it to Chandra. Chandra has like no good planeswalker cards. It's so disappointing. Get rid of this ability triggers only once each turn. Let her be busted for once in her goddamn life, please. Her +2 is add 2 mana of any combination of colors, which is fine. That's actually pretty good considering most Chandras do mana into just red, so +1, exile the top 5 cards of your library until the end of turn. You may cast an instant or sorcery spell from among those exile cards. You may cast in one. Pretty annoying. And then -X. Chandra Hope's Beacon deals X damage to each of up to 2 targets. Should have been all targets. Literally make her busted. Literally just give her full hog power. Make her blap the entire field. There's no reason to continue making Chandra bad. She should be like the best. We have some of the borderless versions of the cards, which are real nice. I like this art of her still crying, which is nice, and then this big sun behind her. Um, this Jinjin Taxis art goes fucking hard, super raw, love it. This one goes raw as fuck too. Holy shit! I haven't seen any of these, by the way. This part, there's actually a team up card that isn't here, that was here, that I did not see. Hold on, let me click on this, see if I can find it. Uh oh, I'm sure we'll see it. Never mind. I'm sure we'll see it. Then we have the Heliod. Love that they're doing. So there's a little bit of a controversy here. Uh, Wizards had a popular proxying website taken down recently, early, like maybe late last year, for unknown reasons, because they let other proxying sites. I think the reason is because they would use old borders because they could, like it wasn't against, as long as they didn't have this and then like the backs were different, they were allowed. But I think they came at them because they planned on doing this, where they're using old borders that they use for special cards in their new cards. So, but we got the Heliod card, very cool. I'm a big fan of how it looks. It looks very good. We have Yargo and Moltani, very nice. And then the Thalia and Get Rug Monster alt art. This one is very cool. I really like the scratch paint art style. We have the announcement of Multiverse Legends. You can pull these cards from the packs, I believe, which will be like masterpieces, I guess, or at the same rarity. So Ragavan reprint and then original tracks a reprint. We got our commander decks announced, which are what looks to be a Phyrexian cat, uh, maybe a Phyrexian soldier deck, an angel esque deck, and then an artificer deck, maybe Tinker Time, Call for backup, Cavalry Charge, Growing Threat, and Divine Convocation. Very cryptic. We've got the announcement of Plane Chase is back. We're getting new Plane Chase cards. They said each deck has 5 new playing cards, so each of these has 5 new cards in each of them. 4 reprint planes and 1 phenomenon card. And then these are some examples of the phenomenon cards, which are things you can draw into when changing planes. I think these are just old art. 30th anniversary promos going out with pre-release. So we've got Eternal Witness, Accord du Chaman. Oh, this is in Spanish. And then Niv Miz the Firemind. We've got another team up here: Goro, and Satoru, both from Kamigawa, Neon Genesis Kamigawa. They are a 3/4 for 3 in, I don't know what that color combination is called, but they're a Goblin Human. Whenever one or more creatures you control enter the battlefield this turn deals combat damage to a player, create a 5/5 dragon. So basically, bring back some hasty boys or play some hasty boys, have them deal damage, create a 5/5 for basically free, and then tap 1 and 2 creature you control gain, or tap 1 and a red creature you control gain haste until the end of turn. So you also have that haste enabler, but it's just significantly worse haste enable than original Goro, because original Goro was 1 red to give haste. So, and then we have Catilda and Liar, which is a 3/3 for 3 human. Whenever you cast a human spell, target insert a sorcery card in your graveyard gains flashback until the end of turn. Flashback cost is equal to its mana cost. So just kind of a nice little instants and sorceries guy. We have Slimefoot and Squee. I'm actually very excited about this one. A 3/3 for 3 fungus goblin. Whenever Slimefoot and Squee enters the battlefield or attacks, create a 1/1 green sapling creature token, which is different than Squee, who is creating 1/1 red goblins, or at least the last Squee we got, which was the Monarch one. And then tap 1 and a black, red, and green. Sack a Sapperling, return Slimefoot and Squee, and up to 2 other target creature cards from your graveyard onto the battlefield. So nice little recursion on them, as well as 2 other creatures you might want back from your graveyard. This is the one I was talking about. This is probably the one I'm most excited about. Galta and Mavrin from Ixalan. A 12/12 for 7 mana. It's a little bit of a steep cost, especially considering original Galta. Basically, you could play whenever. You didn't need a bunch of mana. It was whatever your strongest creature on the field was, reduced it. So it's a little bit steep. It is a 12/12. But I I think this card would be absolutely bonkers in a dinosaur deck. You don't need to run anything vampire wise. Run your reducing cost spells like Urza's Incubators, um, Herald's Horns, all that stuff. Claiming Dinosaur. Get this thing out for its 4 mana cost as early as possible. It's got Trample. It says whenever it attacks, choose 1, and then you choose this. Create a tapped and attacking XX green dinosaur creature token with Trample, where X is the greatest power among other attacking creatures. So you basically have an additional 12/12. You do this a couple times. Hope nobody board wipes, and then you start doing this. Create X 1/1 white vampire creature tokens with lifelink, where X is the number of attacking creatures. So then you just start building up the field with a bunch of 1/1 vampires with lifelink, gaining life as you swing with your big 12/12s that you made previously. I'm super excited about it. Its alt arts are probably my favorite. This one with the little house on top of Galta is amazing. And then this is probably the most like jaw-dropping alt art I've seen in a hot minute on a card. Like the like it's just beautiful. This coin, the like Incan-esque uh um like bordering the card and stuff like that. It's just beautiful. I'm very excited. I need a copy of this card when it comes out. I haven't built a green deck in so long. I want to build Galta in Maverick. I've actually been thinking about building a green deck because I just picked up a copy of the concept art Vorinclex. I wanted to build them, but I think that's going on the back burner. And I'm waiting until Galta and Maverick come out. So excited. And then we have the Piece de Resistance. Omnath has finally reached final power, 5 color. Omnath, Locust of All. He is big and he is 5 colors. He is a white, blue, red, green with a black Phyrexian pip, which can be paid with 2 life. He is a 4/4 for 5 Phyrexian elemental. If you would lose unspent mana, that mana becomes black instead. So that means as turns progress, you can build up your mana because you don't lose mana. It's considered unspent. Um, at the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, look at the top card of your library. You may reveal that card if it has 3 or more colored mana symbols in its mana cost. Um, yeah, you reveal it if it has 3 or more mana symbols in its mana cost. If you do, add 3 mana in that or in any combination of its colors, and then put it into your hand. If you don't reveal it, put it into your hand anyways. Just overall amazing value on this Omnath. I am very excited about the Omnath. I've never built an Omnath deck. Imagine building Omnath, throwing all the Omnaths in there. And he's got 2 alt arts. We have the we have the basic art, we have the extended art, which is one we just showed, or I just showed, and then we have the extended alt art, or extended. This is just full art version of this, and then this is the extended alt art. He's very cool. I'm very excited about him. I believe. Then we have the announcement of all the products. So we've got draft boosters, set boosters, collectors boosters. We have the bundle. We have the pre-release box. We have the welcome booster. We have the jumpstart boosters, and then the 5 commander decks. It's a lot of product. Like everybody else in the Magic community, I assume I am also getting a little burnt out on how much product Wizards has been releasing. I think it's too much. I think they need to cut back. Like, there's no reason that we should have a jump start for every single set. I get it; it's another game mode, but I think it should just be. I think jumpstart shouldn't be focused around um, each individual set. I think it should be focused around blocks. So, the end of a block, introduce a jumpstart. End of a block, introduce a jumpstart. The rest of this is fine. I forgot what we used to call these. I can't remember what we used to call these, but this bundle is fine. They've always done these. Collector's boosters are fine. Set and draft is fine. I like the separation between set and draft for people who want to collect versus people who want to play draft. 5 commander decks is quite a lot. I know that normally we get 2. Um, 5 just seems like an abundance, but I get it. This is basically Magic's end game for this whole Phyrexian arc. Um, the amount of planes they need to cover and creature types they need to cover is vast, but it's just a lot of product. Then we have the Secret Lair. Showcase Secret Lair stuff, which is where these old art style borders are coming in, and the reason why people are probably a little upset with Wizards with shutting down that proxying site, because we didn't know why, and now we know why they did it. We have a wheel and deal. We have questing beast. This one sucks for me. I'm very upset about the questing beast one because this art is raw as hell. and I just picked up a copy of Questing Beast for a deck, so I'm a little disappointed because I want this Questing Beast. It's really fucking nice. We've got Olivia Voldaren, Walking Ballista, and World Tree. I have most of these cards. Maybe not Wheel and Deal, but like the art for Questing Beast is raw as hell. Uh, we have this now for us to pull back some of the veil of MTG Aftermath. Blake hands it to Roy, whose notes there isn't a lot to say beyond it being a very story focused set looking at the consequences and fallout of the invasion. So this will be 50 cards sold in 5 card boosters. Um, Big spoilers around MTG Aftermath, which is a card from that set. Kennerith's Royal Funeral. The Kenneriths are dead, it seems, which big rip to the Kenneriths, I guess. And then we have some important notes leading up to March of Madness, I guess. March 16th to the 27th, March Madness story. Set debut on the 29th of March. Cinematic trailer and previews begin. March 29th to April 4th, we have card previews. April 5th, we have complete card image galleries. April 14th to the 20th, in-store pre-release events. April 18th, we have MTG Arena and Magic Online digital release. April 21st, we have the global tabletop release, which is when the set will release. And then April 21st to the 23rd, we have in-store launch party events, which I think this is all pre-release stuff. Because launch party events are usually when oh no, this is in-store pre-release. So the week before it officially releases. So that's our little thing, and I guess that's everything that has to do with the new set. I will probably be going over spoilers as they come out. I'm sure we're gonna get more spoilers like announced before the official card gallery has its spoilers. Shit just happens all the time. When that happens, I'll be showing stuff off on Mythic Spoiler, specifically just because that's my go-to website to look at spoiled cards. But let me know what you guys think. If you're excited about March of the Machines, putting bias aside in terms of Magic the Gathering and Hasbro putting out way too much product. If you're excited about some of the cards that were announced, I'll talk about one little theory I have that I've seen other people talking about. That art of Elish Norn that I showed off at the beginning of the video. There's a big rumor going around that the whole completing of Planeswalkers that she was doing was leading up to her potentially being a Planeswalker. I think it'd be very cool to see her as a Planeswalker. Like the whole point of her doing this was her trying to extract a spark properly to be able to reuse it. Which I know that what Slowbad, is that his name? The Goblin. Um, was it Slowbad? I don't remember. From way back early Phyrexia stuff. But I'm very excited to see what it could be. I might be a little disappointed if they're all just sagas, but I mean, it'd be kind of unfair if one of them's a planeswalker and the rest are sagas. So, especially considering people really want Urbrask to live and to just kind of live his life out in the furnace. He's not hurting anybody. He is the heretic after all. But yeah, let me know what you guys think about the new set, what you're most excited about, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace.